It is Met Gala Monday, and as a reminder, the theme is Black Dandyism. Now, Black Dandyism started in the 1920s, well, Dandyism, but Black Dandyism really came full force during the Harlem Renaissance. So there were like people like Langston Hughes, Josephine Baker, others who were really the pioneers of the Harlem Renaissance. And so that's kind of where we started to see Black Dandyism. And this is big for our community because Black Dandyism was really a form of protest. You know, it was showing up in a way that the world wasn't seeing us. We were defining how we were going to show up, and that was through our clothes, through tailored pieces, sharp suits, bow ties. All of that was us showing up how we knew that we could show up, not how society wanted us to show up. It was really a form of an elegant middle finger because it showed up in a classy way and defined by class, not specifically by race. I mean, that's a whole different conversation of how, you know, we as a community were being seen. But this was direct protest to that. One thing to keep in mind is the Met Gala is a fundraiser. So we as a community, especially as we are having our past style highlighted, we definitely shouldn't boycott. But one thing to keep in mind is that Andre, in terms of, you know, his relationship with Vogue and everything, they're giving flowers to him now that he's passed away, but they weren't giving it to him when he was alive. In fact, he pretty much died penniless. Diane von Furstenberg, I believe, was the one who paid for his funeral. And, you know, Anna Wintour basically paid him dust. But now that it is a trend and they know that it is something that they can capitalize on, that is what is being done. Now, there are people who are on the committees who are, you know, going over the guest list. But at the end of the day, Anna Wintour is the one who decides who gets dressed, what designers. So I'm curious to see how many actual Black designers will be involved in this. And then there is like, you know, the fact that certain Black influencers who are huge in the fashion space are not being invited. And at the end of the day, we have to remember that it comes down to Anna Wintour, and Anna Wintour decides who goes. So we're going to see a lot of people paying homage, but not the ones who like actually are shaping that today, which is quite unfortunate unless like you're on Anna Wintour's good side. So that's unfortunate. But one thing to keep in mind is that, you know, this, while it is displaying Black fashion and celebrating that, it is still being done in a white space. Yes, there are people who are on the committees, Coleman Domingo, all of that, but it still is a white institution. So whatever malarkey goes down, we cannot be surprised. At the end of the day, I also need us to stop relying on these platforms, you know, to platform us ourselves. You know what I want to see is I want to see Essence. I want to see Ebony. I want to see us come together as a community and start put on these events. Yes, the Met Gala is expensive and all of that, but just imagine what happened if we as a Black community actually came together and really started to put on our own events that could one day rival this. That's all I'm saying. So as we start to see these looks come out, as we start to see who is invited, who is not invited, let us not be surprised and just know that, you know, it's cool to have a seat at the table, but it's time for us to build our own table.